Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. Today's video is all about birthday cards. Fun ones, bright ones, perfect ones for summer birthdays and beyond. This video also features the Spellbinders June Kit Clubs of the month, including their card kit of the month, the small die, and the glimmer kit of the month. So let's quick flip through these supplies so you can see what I'll be working with today, and then we'll jump right into the birthday card making. So first, let's take a look at Spellbinders June card kit of the month. It's called Party Hat and Streamers. So everything is birthday or congratulations related. And this card shares all the supplies that are included in the kit. It also shows you how to use the dies in the kit to make a simple card. So you can easily follow step by step with these photos and create a very simple card. But I love that the dies include a sentiment, a way to make a party hat, including a pom-pom and trim on the hat, as well as some little flowers that you can use or not use. There's a 6x6 pattern paper pad. These are single-sided sheets. I love that many of them have gold foil accents. It really coordinates well with the rest of the colors in the embellishments and the cardstock as well. There's some definite birthday themes and then some general versatile themes as well. These cute little party hats come with those adorable gold pom-poms on them, and they sit on a foam adhesive piece. There's a bag of gold sequins that can be used to make a shaker card or just to accent your cards depending on what you want to do. There are a bunch of cards that you can use and envelopes to match. These are A2 size side folding cards. There's two adhesives, little foam squares, and then a tape roll. There's a stamp set. This month's stamp set has a ton of really sweet sentiments for birthdays, as well as some candles. These are the chipboard stickers. You get 2 sheets of chipboard stickers. Again, I love these designs and also the fact that many of them also include that gold foiling, so everything coordinates really, really well, and it's just an easy way to add some gold foil to your cards. There's also some puffy stickers with some fun sentiments. Again, you could use congrats or the birthday sentiments depending on what type of card you're going to make. I'm going to make a ton of birthday cards today. And these are the die cuts. If you've seen Spellbinders die cuts before, you know you get a ton in the pack. You will be using these forever, and I just love the designs of these again, and the colors this month are just some of my favorites. Okay, for cardstock, you get 8.5 by 11, a black, a kind of bright pink, a light pink, a yellow, orange. There's also a mint green and a blue, and again you can see those die cuts underneath. The die cuts, the chipboard stickers, puffy stickers, everything coordinates really well. You also get a piece of their gold mirror cardstock, which is double-sided. Okay, for the small die of the month, you get these really gorgeous intricate borders. So there are 3 different very intricate borders that are included, and they also have this other border that kind of coordinates with that last one. I'll show you. You can double these up on top of each other. They also have the edges so that you can cut the borders out if you so choose, or you can have the bottom of your card shaped like that edge. Okay, this is the glimmer kit of the month. I wasn't sure what the foil was, so I'm not showing that, but it is the paisleys and then sentiments. You can die cut those paisleys and die cut those sentiments as well. They have some really nice sentiments in this kit. As you can see, this month's Spellbinders kits include tons of supplies perfect for making really bright, fun, happy birthday cards. I want to showcase a little bit of everything, so I'll go as quickly as I can. Let's start out using the dies that come in the card kit of the month. So if you remember, I shared that the card kit dies have a sentiment, so I'm going to use some iCraft Easy-Cut adhesive so that I can easily adhere those tiny little dies to my card. So I'm going to peel back one protective layer and I'm going to lay half of the black 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock on the open adhesive. Once I have that laid down, I'm going to put the protective layer back so I can trim off that little strip on the side that I'm not going to use. So I don't want that open so that it gets gummed up in my die cut machine or anything else. Okay, so I have cardstock on the front, easy cut on the back. I'm going to place my dies with the cutting side face down onto the cardstock. And then I'm going to put some PIXIE tape on top to hold them in place. And then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, next up, I've cut two of the background hats, one out of blue and one out of green. And now I'm going to use the detail layer on top of the blue to cut out those striped lines. For the green, that's going to go behind that open stripe. I'm going to fold in and then cut off these tabs. I don't need two hats with tabs. I just need the top layer to have tabs. So I'm going to cut off the tabs off of this one, and then I can adhere that blue onto the green. Here is the little trim under the hat. So I'm going to use some tape runner. You could use liquid glue as well to just adhere the blue on top of the green and just fold the tabs behind the green. That's going to hold that in place, and it leaves the bottom open so that I can insert that fringe. I'm just going to put a little teeny tiny bit of tape runner on the top of that, and I'm going to insert it into the bottom of the hat and then press it closed so that it will adhere and you won't see the top of that trim. You'll just see that nice trim sticking out the bottom. So that's pretty easy. The last thing I'm going to do is I cut out the pom-pom out of some yellow cardstock. I'm going to put a little adhesive on it, and you start with the longer side. One side is longer than the other. The end is short, so you start with the longer side and just roll it on top of each other. And once you have it all adhered together, then you just press those little strips down and it turns it into a little pom-pom. It's so cute and so easy to make. And these could be really cute embellishments on cards too. So I used some of the pattern paper, cut it down to 4 by 5.25 so that I could layer it over some of the white cardstock and just press that down. So I'm going to purposefully use no pink on this card because the rest of my cards are all kind of pink, and I wanted to make sure that you were able to create cards without pink, because I know pink is not everybody's favorite, even though I adore it. But I'm going to use black for the sentiment. It says make a wish, and you can see I'm just peeling it off that easy cut from the back and then just placing it down. The great thing about that is you do have some dry time where you can move it around before it gets really stuck. Then I'm going to use some of the die cuts from the kit just to accent and embellish this. These are some stars that are in gold foil as well. A really simple card, but again, I mainly made this one to showcase the dies and to show that you don't have to use pink, even though the rest of my cards are pink. Now let's use up some of those other card kit supplies. I do really love this pattern paper pad this month. Again, there are several sheets of pattern paper that are not birthday theme specific, like little hearts and dots and things like that. So I cut some cardstock down, I guess, yes, it's pink, to 4 by 5.25, and I'm layering it over some yellow pattern paper. And then I decided to work with that birthday girl puffy sticker. So it's pretty large. So I put it towards the center of the card. And then I'm just going to add in some die cuts popped up. The reason that it is fun to have die cuts rather than stickers is because you can add dimension behind them. Super simple card, but so much fun to make. Okay, here's another easy one. These party hats are just so adorable. They come in different sizes as well. So I have 2 of the larger ones. I was going to do 1 medium and small, but I'm going to stick with symmetrical here. So 2 of the larger ones at the bottom, 2 of the medium ones at the top, and then a die cut chipboard sticker in the center that says celebrate. And then I did trim that down so that you could see the mint that brings out that chipboard sticker in the center as well. Okay, for this one, we're going to use lots of die cuts. So I have these little border die cuts. They're kind of scallops. They do have some gold foil as well. I just put a little bit of tape runner behind them. I'm going to have one at the top and one at the bottom. But I realized at some point that I wanted this piece to be in the center of that pattern paper, so I did trim it down quite a bit. It's not just 4 by 5 1/4, it's even smaller. Okay, I'm going to use the stamp set this time. I love this script sentiment. It's just so pretty and delicate, and I thought it went really well with all of these pretty little die cuts. So I have one of the rainbow die cuts, of course. You got to use the rainbow die cuts. They're so pretty. And then I put this all on a piece of that mint pattern paper. Again, all of the colors in the kit go really well together, so you can use all of the embellishments and all of the pattern paper and all of the cardstock together. The Spellbinders June small die of the month is actually several dies that are great borders. Now, of course, you could use these dies all year round for lots of different kinds of cards. I'm going to share them making some more birthday cards. I absolutely love this one. It's such a beautiful border die. I haven't bought a border die like this in a long time, so I think this will be really nice to have for, like I said, lots of different cards. I am going to mat it onto some pink cardstock and then cut it out with the edge dies so that I can have this strip that I can add to some blue cardstock that came in the kit as well. I also have a cake die cut, a flower die cut that I popped up, and a sentiment made with it's the chipboard from the kit as well. I'm just going to trim off anything that's hanging off the side here with some scissors. And then I did cut this down a little bit to, I think this time it was 4 by 5 1/4, so that I could layer it on some pattern paper, because I just love the pattern paper in this kit. I really feel like you could use it for so many different cards, but especially for these fun summery birthday cards. So now let's use the medium border. I'm just going to cut this one out of some of the blue cardstock, and I've cut a piece of pattern paper down to kind of like a square. It's almost like a 4 by 4 square, and then I'm going to use that little border just down at the bottom. So I'm using some of the bright yellow cardstock, and I just thought that the blue and the orange played really well together on this card, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to pop up that candle die cut and add a Hooray chipboard sticker on top. For that last border, it's that smallest or thinnest border. I did cut out both of the shapes, and you can see you can layer them on top of each other. If I'd used 2 different colors, you'd be able to see this better, but I really did like the gold on gold. It adds a little dimension to it, and then you can see that the shapes are a little bit different. One has kind of a scallop that hangs down as well. So now I'm going to put a piece of pattern paper onto some white cardstock, but I'm going to leave some room at the bottom because I want my gold foil border to go at that bottom there. So I'm going to trim off the pattern paper at the top, and once that's done, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to our gold border, and then flip that over and put it just at the bottom of the pattern paper. And then next, I'm going to use that border scallop to cut the bottom off of this panel. So I'm using just a couple pieces of PIXIE tape to hold it in place right underneath that gold border. Now I'm tracing on top of my card base so that I can trim down the card base so that you see that scalloped edge at the bottom. And then I'm going to use some chipboard to accent and also add a sentiment to this card. Mostly I really like that gold border at the bottom is my favorite here, but the pattern paper is also very pretty. I've mentioned before that the Spellbinders Glimmer Kits of the month are a great way to increase your stash of those foil plates and to increase your stash of rolls of foil as well. This month's Glimmer Kit of the month includes some foil plates for sentiments and for images. They also have some dies to cut those things out, and there's a roll of foil. I'm going to combine the Glimmer Kit of the month with some of the supplies from the card kit to make a birthday card, but I'll also share a way to just use the Glimmer Kit to make a thank you card. So I've shared before different ways to use the glimmer machine to get a good impression. I will link to that video up in the right-hand corner here. So I'm just going to share with you what I did. I glimmered the image a couple of times, once in gold, once in rainbow, and I did all of the sentiments on both colorful cardstock and white cardstock, so I had a bunch to choose from. The dies that come in the Glimmer Kit cut out the inside of the paisley as well as the outside of the paisley. So I am cutting out a few of these paisley pieces, and I'm also using the dies to cut out the sentiments. So you can see one sentiment is seize the day, forever friend, and gratitude. And so I made sure to do a bunch of them and cut them all out so that I had several to work with. And that's how I like to do it. So for the birthday card, I am going to use some foam squares and pop up one or two of the paisleys on top of what I've glimmered on the card panel itself, just to give a little dimensions, just a little something fun, a little something extra. Since I'm not doing a lot of work on this card, I'm just gluing pieces on top of it. I thought that was kind of a cool effect to have. So you could do all of them that way, or you could just, like I did, just pick a few. I also have a die cut from the kit that's like a bright yellow that I thought would be fun and really stand out on this card. I did the sentiment on the blue cardstock that came in the kit that I think goes really well with the blue in the foil. And then I do have a couple of the chipboard stickers, which I am gluing down because I had let them sit on a couple of places, and so some of the adhesive had come off, so they weren't sticking as much as they normally would. So just a little bit of liquid glue behind them and they stay put forever and a day, right? So, and I just think that this is such a fun way to add foil to your kit. I love that design of those paisleys. Okay, for the thank you card, I just did the gold paisleys kind of in a diagonal across an A2 piece of white cardstock, and then I have the gratitude, which I die cut. This is all in gold foil, and I'm just going to put that down at the bottom of the card and hold it in place just for a couple of seconds. The Ultra Bond does take a few seconds to dry. Don't panic if it like comes up right away. It just needs a few seconds to dry. They give you that longer dry time so that you can move things around a little bit. Last but not least, I am going to accent this one with some of those gold sequins. I thought that was perfect. And I love just the gold and white together. It's such a kind of elegant, crisp card and so much fun to make. I'd love to hear what your favorite kit or supply was this month. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to check out more about the Spellbinders Glimmer Machine, I have a whole video of tips and tricks over here. And if you love seeing these kit reviews or other card making tips, tricks, and techniques, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell so you can be notified every single time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Buying these favorite. Love to hear. Okay. If you want to know more about the, I'm getting hot. Yay.